Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks Take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks Commentary live stream for Monday, October the 26th. Just gonna fix this real quick. Okay, that's good enough for today, I think. And I hope you guys are well. Thanks for waiting for me. And I'm happy to be here. It feels like I haven't been here in a while, but it's only been a week. I didn't do a video today. I was slam packed at work, but I appreciate you being here. And as I always say, no matter if you're in my home area of Steveston in Richmond, or in the city, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or around the world, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate that you could be doing anything else right now. So for you to spend a few minutes with me, that is awesome. And I do not take you for granted, that's for sure. So as we start off, subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed already. You can like this video if you'd like to. We are a small and mighty group right now, but that's okay. We'll kind of see what happens throughout the course of the next 45 minutes to an hour. And like I said, I do appreciate you being here, and I'll be able to jump to your questions right away within the next couple minutes. I guess there's a lot that actually happened for the Vancouver Canucks in the past week. Mainly news around 3 or 4 key players. Canucks re-signed Adam Gaudette. Canucks signed free agent Jace Harlock. The Canucks signed Jake Virtanen, which is probably the biggest news. 2 years at $5.1 million, and then they did not use their buyout on Sutter or Eriksson, which was no surprise. And then the Canucks ended up seeing Josh Levo go to the Calgary Flames. So the fourth Calgary Flames player to go to the fourth ex-Vancouver Canucks player to go to the Calgary Flames in the past 2 weeks, which is pretty darn crazy. Okay, so let's get, I'm gonna adjust this one more time. We can get right to your questions right away, and let's get going. HSN Fangirl, always first in. Hi Clay, do you think the NHL will agree to a start date for next season soon? That's a tough one. I've heard many people talk on the radio recently saying that it's certainly not a slam dunk given COVID, given, there are going to be some owners that think actually that it's going to be cheaper. And this is the interesting thing. It might be cheaper for them to not play the season, to not have the team play, than if they actually had the season with no fans. So again, some owners will lose less money. It's better for them financially if there's no season, as opposed to them playing with no fans. So we've heard January 1. I just have a feeling that seems kind of soon already. That's only 2 months away, which is great if you're a hockey fan, but that seems a little quick to me. So my guess is it's not going to be January 1. I just have a feeling it's going to be pushed back a little bit, whether we see an all-Canadian division, as we've talked about before, or I've heard bubbles, not hub cities, but 4 bubble. Other way around. I haven't heard bubbles, but I've heard hub cities, 4 hub cities. So we'll kind of see what happens. So great question. BC Neil says RAP Joey Moss. Yes, 57 years old today, I believe, or that's what Joey Moss was 57 years old. Oh, sorry, he's older. I'm sorry. He's here. He's here. I thought I read that he was 57. Does that sound right? Yeah. Edmonton sports legend Joey Moss dies at 57. So we know he was a locker room attendant for the Oilers and the Eskimos, born with Down syndrome, and pretty much, a really popular guy in the sports world. So yes, that is indeed sad news about Joey Moss. It's also sad news about David Braley, the owner of the BC Lions, who also passed away today. Debut Hunter says, do you think getting Ben Hutton back on a base wage for third pair makes sense? I'm not sure. You're the first person actually who's mentioned Hutton to come back to the Canucks. He's only been gone a year. It feels like a lot longer than that. But I'm not sure if that makes the most sense. I think kind of that ship has sailed, and I'm not sure how much he brings to the team, given if you bring him back on the left side, then you're taking a spot from either a Yolevi or a Rathbone potentially. So I wouldn't say it doesn't make sense, but I don't think it's likely, quite frankly. Justin says the Calgary Canucks. Yeah, indeed. Arso, hi Clay, how are you doing? How is bowling? Arso, thank you for asking. Yes, I bowl Sunday night and Tuesday night. And yesterday was not a good night. So Tuesday night is the big team night where I play with Jacob and Sean, my two sons, on a 5-person team. That's every Tuesday. That's the big league. And then on Sunday nights, it's the one-on-one league. And I was matched up against the best bowler, and it's handicap. So actually, I got 50 pins handicap on him. So I only won one game, and he won the last 3. So if I played a bit better, it would have been a lot closer. I only lost to him in games 2 and 3 with handicap by a few pins, and then he smoked me game 4. So it was just okay. Thank you, Arso, for asking, but I'm looking forward to redeeming myself tomorrow with the boys. Nux, hi Clay, how are you and the family? We are great, Nux. I hope you're doing well as well. Thoughts on Podkolzin? Yeah, I saw that he got sent down to basically the KHL version of the AHL. He got sent down to the minor team. I heard the GM of the KHL team saying that they need him to be working harder, be more consistent. And obviously you'd love to hear him ripping it up in the KHL, but you got to remember he's still like a 18 or 19-year-old kid playing amongst men. So it's okay if he's not dominating. You just simply want him to have a fair shot. So maybe he gets more playing time, more opportunity on his new club, and we'll see. But I'm not worried at all about Podkolzin or his development. Arso says, I need your positivity right now, Clay. Arso, I'm here for you, man, and hope you're doing okay. And that was more of a general statement as opposed to anything that you're going through, but you can always share here if you feel so inclined. But Arso, thanks for joining. I will bring that positivity to you for sure. Sahil says, I don't feel good about next year. You're talking about overall the Canucks. Yeah, some would say they've taken a small step back, given that you could argue they're weaker in goal. They are better on the blue line, you could say, and they are a bit weaker up front. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as people say, but I think it would be unrealistic to expect them to make it to the final 8, 1 game away from the final 4 once again. But we know they're trying to clear up money. They will be clearing up money, almost $24 million coming off the books. It's really interesting. I would say that there's $20 million coming off the books. Edler at 6, Sutter at 4.3, Berchi at 3.4, Pearson at 3.7, Jordy Bennett at 2, and Ryan Spooter's buyout, penalty. So that's $20 million. And they say, well, is $20 million enough to sign Pettersson, Hughes, and Demko? But I realize that Pettersson, Hughes, Demko, and Gaudette are all coming off the books too, although we'll resign all those guys. So it's closer to $24 million coming off the books next year. J Kid says, hey Clay, do you see next season starting February? Yeah, I think February is a better bet than January for sure, as I mentioned in my very first answer to tonight's live stream. So we'll see. Patrick Starr, hello Clay. Hello Patrick, nice to see you. Simon, did you watch the video of Pettersson playing as a goalie that was just uploaded on YouTube today? He made some nice saves and could be a Canucks emergency goalie like David Ayres and Chris Levesque. Yeah, I did see the video. Not surprising that Pettersson is a wicked athlete and made some good saves. The first thing that went through my head, though, among the first things was I was hoping that he didn't get hurt. Obviously, they wouldn't show it on the video if he did get hurt, but I'm not sure if Canucks management, I don't know if they had to sign off on it, but I'm not sure if you want your best player trying to play goal for just a fun little video. But that was actually my first thought. My first thought was, wow, he's actually a decent goalie. My second thought was praying to God that he doesn't get hurt, of course. Dominic, hi. Guess what? I used to live in Vancouver, and now I live in Calgary, and there's an AHL team called the Calgary Canucks, so it's a weird coincidence. Yes, I've heard that from a few people that there's indeed an AHL team there called the Calgary Canucks. DSL, hi Clay, Canucks are currently over the cap by 1.5 million. Do you think they'll bury Berchi in Utica or convince Furlan to go in LTIR? Thanks, appreciate your commentary. DSL, thank you for your comment. I appreciate that you appreciate my commentary. The Furlan one's tricky because you can't force him to go on LTIR, yet his agent was out in the media last week saying we can't continue going on like this. And what he's saying is Furlan tries so hard to come back, then gets injured. Then he tries so hard to come back, then gets injured. And there comes a point where you just kind of say, this isn't worth it. When is that point? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen before the season starts. But yes, that is $3.5 million. If Furlan tries to come back on the team and the Canucks give him a chance to do so, you can also free up that $2 million by putting Berchi and Eriksson in Utica. They'd have to clear waivers first. And if they don't, that's even better. Then that means the team takes them for their contract. But you can save $1 million on each of them on the cap by putting them in Utica. So I think that is I think that could be among one of the plans for sure. Arso, you sound a little sick, Clay. Do you have a sore throat coming on? Arso, I appreciate the concern. No, I'm not sick. And I may sound a bit stuffy, But actually, I've been doing a lot of talking. I was speaking all today. We were recording for this big fundraiser that we're having on Thursday night, virtual fundraiser. It's usually live, usually 1,000 people, but instead there's gonna be 2,000 people online. I'm the MC, so I recorded about 3 hours of footage today for videos. So I feel fine. I don't have a sore throat, but my voice might be a little scratchy. But Arsenal, thanks for noticing and thanks for the concern. I appreciate that. Dominic says, by the way, keep up the great work. Thank you, Dominic. Appreciate that. Nuts, NBA eyeing to start December 22. That's early. Well, I did not know that, and that is early. TFK, thanks, Nux. I did not know that. TFK Louis, what is the thought about the AHL situation? They talked about moving some of the minor league teams closer to the parent clubs. I like Abbotsford comments. What do you think? Great question, Louis. Someone asked me about this either last week or 2 weeks, and I kind of dismissed it quickly because I've heard talk about Utica coming to Abbotsford before. Then we know that the Abbotsford Heat didn't do well, but that was because they're Calgary's farm team. So if they can make a way to make it work, that's fine. But yeah, the AHL, obviously, if they don't play, that's a huge loss for any team that has players in the AHL, like obviously we do with the Utica Comets. I think it goes with for every NHL team that they either have their own affiliate or they split an affiliate. So hopefully they can get some sort of schedule, some sort of plan, return to play plan going for the AHL as well. And if Utica Comets move here, that's great. It's better for the team. It's good for the fans. I'm not sure if that's the case though, because I know that they're very popular in Utica. So we'll see. Good question. Jesse, do you see Hoglander making the roster next year? I feel like his chances have increased with Levo officially gone and multiple months of playing pro hockey in Sweden before the NHL even starts. Yeah, it's interesting. I had Hoglander puck holes in penciled in for next season, 2021, 2022. But every now and then I hear people saying that Hoglander will have an outside chance of making this team, maybe even starting in Utica versus Sweden. We'll see. If Utica's not playing, then obviously it'll be Sweden. But I would not be surprised to see Hoglander be on the team at some time, beyond the roster sometime this season. I'm just not sure if it's going to be right out of camp. But yeah, there's a chance they'll be, I think they're grooming him and Podkolzin to be second liners with Horvat a couple years down the road, especially if we don't re-sign Tanner Pearson. Nick, hi Clay. Before I ask my questions, just want to say I really appreciate your live streams. I always look forward to them. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that you look forward to them. Thank you. And then I'll wait for your question. Next, Benning had an interview about his D corps, and he said, I really believe in our young guys for D, and they will get experience. So I think Ulevi and Rafferty will play. Yeah, so obviously our top four of Hughes and Edler on the left, Schmidt and Myers on the right. Jordy Ben's still there. He can play left side or right side. He played whatever side Oscar Vandenberg wasn't playing or Troy Stetcher. So Ben can play left or right. So that means that you have four young guys really battling for one spot, at least to start. You have Ulevi and Rathbone on the left, and you have Rafferty and Chatfield on the right. I give an inside shot to Ulevi on the left side and Rafferty on the right. So we'll see. I think whoever plays the best, they may ask Ben to play the other side, and then they go from there. Nuts, I saw on Twitter, Taj tweeted it. You can go check. I'm not sure if you're talking about the NHL. TFK Louis, Ben Hutton had 16 points in 65 games, but a +5 on a bad team. Honestly, he's a bigger version of Stetcher on the left side if he comes out. Yeah, I liked Hutton when he came back. When he was here, he was actually in one of my music videos, the Canucks Christmas rap from a couple of years ago. I do like him. I just don't know if there's an appetite to bring him back. But I did like him when he was here. I thought he had potential. He could move the puck. Decent size, actually, but wasn't the most consistent player, that's for sure. Yusuf, Clay, when do you think Rathbone steps in, and how do you think Holtby will do? Rathbone, I think he's going to get a chance to make the bottom pair this year, but I think Ulevi may have the inside track just by a bit. Rathbone has never played pro hockey, either at the AHL or obviously NHL level. So I think Rathbone, you got to give him one more season. But I can't wait for a day 5, 6 years down the road when we have Hughes, Ulevi, and Rathbone as our left side D. That sounds good to me. As for Holtby, I think he'll do fine. I think he'll have a bounce back season from last year. Washington was pretty porous defensively. Not that Vancouver's that much better, but I just have a feeling that he's got a lot to prove. He's going to have a good partnership with Demko. I think Holtby will be fine, truly. Fangirl, thoughts on some schools having to be shut down already 2 months in school year? It's sad, but it's not unexpected, quite frankly. Patrick, do you think Schmidt and Ulevi Rafferty will make us faster next season? I'm really excited about next season. I feel like we got better. Yeah, you'd be in the minority, Patrick. I think a lot of people think we got worse, but I do think on the D side, we'll be a lot faster. Ulevi's not fast, but Rafferty's not, he's okay. it's Rathbone that's going to make us a lot faster, but I do think he's one season away. But Schmidt will make us a lot faster for sure. Jesse, what moves do you see the Canucks making before the start of next season? Maybe a depth defenseman. Before this season, Green, Cuckoo, or Hainsey. Yeah, I don't know how much money they have. I would not be surprised if they went in the season with their players right now. The top four, as I mentioned, Jordy Bennett as a 5'6", and then one of the young guys. But then that leaves you really thin if there's an injury. So maybe you could go after a depth defenseman, but I haven't heard a lot about that yet. Debut Hunter, Hockey Guy had Canucks 15th for next season on power rankings and 5th for Canadian teams. Do you think that's fair given that we're the last Canadian team standing? Good question. I know that 6 of the 7, basically anyone except Ottawa, it could be in any order. I had the Canucks actually. Maybe there's my homerism or my bias. I actually had them still as the best Canadian team. But when I think about it, I think that could go to Calgary, Montreal, or Toronto. Quite frankly, and although Winnipeg is good too, and Edmonton. So you can see right away as I say all those teams out loud that it could be any reason. Any order, I'd say. 15th next season. I could see them battling for a last playoff spot. So that's about right. 5th for Canadian teams. Yeah, I can't argue with that, but I'm the same guy who said that the Canucks could be number 1 in Canada. So it'll be tough to say. So I think if your question is, do I think those rankings are fair? Yeah, I think those rankings are fair. Fillmore Wax, last year Canucks could have been 2 teams with their depth. Oh, I don't know about that. Now I hope they can have at least 1 team with whatever they have now. Yeah, Fillmore, I don't think they could have 2 teams with their depth. I think they're pretty thin at some positions, but I hear what you're saying. They seem less deep this year. Justin, hey Clay, how are you and your family? We are great, thank you. Hope you're well, Justin. With the sudden spiking daily COVID cases, do you see any impact on the start of next season? Yeah, I kind of referenced this. I think it could get pushed to February. It's my gut feeling. Cody, hey Clay, do you feel that the Canucks put Ferland on LTIR at some point? And assuming some decent free agents are left, can you see us signing one? Another right D or forward would be great. Yeah, Cody, that's the talk. So I was surprised that they didn't sign Josh Levo actually, because he fills in a middle 6 spot. So are they going to go after one more top 6 or a top 9 player? Maybe. Are they looking at a right shot D-man? Maybe. But I also have a feeling they might be standing pat, I should say, not standing put. I'd love to see them go after Anthony Duclair, actually. I think that would be a really cool signing. So we'll see. And do I think the Canucks will put Ferland LTIR? I think there's a better chance of that happening now than if we talked about a month ago or 2 months ago when the Canucks were in the bubble, especially given what his agent said last week. Del Deuceman, hey Clay, Brodell sitting in. Nice to see you, Brodell. Thanks for being here. Simon, I think the Flames signing 4 Canucks UFAs is the record for most UFAs from one team signed by a team in the offseason. I don't remember any other team doing it, that's for sure. Phil, are you excited about Rathbone? I am, Phil. I think we may have to wait 1 season, but yes, I'm very excited about him. Gervy, hey Clay, do you think the Canucks are going to make one more move to add to the team? You know, I thought that until, it's kind of strange because by not signing Josh Levo, who you could have signed, you could argue that, I made this point in my vlog that maybe they're done with their forwards and they actually let them go because they see enough battles. There's already 14 or 15 forwards signed, but I'm not sure if they're all NHL quality forwards. So you could bring in someone to battle for a spot. And then on D, I just have a feeling, given what Benning said, they're going to play some young guys. I have a feeling they're set on D for sure. Nick, I also noticed that on the bench boys pronounce Pettersson's name a couple different ways. How do you pronounce it? I probably pronounce it wrong. I know I've heard Elias, I've heard Elias, I've heard Elias. No, I just said that. I say Elias actually. Elias Pettersson. And I know that even PD said that you can call him Peterson, but then I think that really didn't get anywhere. So Pettersson's the last name for sure. But I say Elias, as in the 3 letters, L-E-S. I know some people say Elias or Elias. So there's Elias, Elias, and I say Elias. So I just say Elias Pettersson. It's just the way I've been used to saying it, and it's the easiest for me. And I met him once, as you guys know, back in January 2019. He complimented me on the song that I wrote him, how sweet it is, back in the fall of 2018. And when I call him, and I've seen him at golf tournaments, when I call him Elias, he's fine with it. So that's the way I do it. Harmon says Jet Wu. I think he's a year away still, and I think he's going to max out as a bottom pair right side guy. Ludo, hey Clay, you're a good man for keeping the positivity flowing right now. Thank you, Ludo. How excited are you to watch the Canucks prospects at the World Juniors? I'm very excited. I'm always excited. I'm not a big juniors prospects draft guy, but I'm certainly excited to watch the Canucks players play when they play for sure. And it was weird seeing Quinn Hughes play for the U.S. Here in Vancouver last season. Nick, how do you think the NHL will handle exhibition games? I'm sure you have to play within your bubble / division, especially they're trying not to mix divisions. And you look at the Canadian teams as a good example of that. So maybe they play 2 or 3 exhibition games within their division. Ronnie, hi Clay, good to see you. I don't see the Canucks taking a big step back. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. Good to see you too. I don't see the Canucks taking a big step back next season. I think we have to give our draft picks a chance, especially the D. It looks like Jake is training in earnest. Yeah, Jake is out in Kelowna with Tyler Myers. And yeah, I think I would love it if one of the young guys, Ulevi, Rathbone, Rafferty, Chatfield, step up on the D. That would be awesome. Alfred, hi Clay. I'm here. Hello, Alfred. Hope you're well and that your family's well as well. Hope you and your family are doing well. My family and I are doing well. Awesome. Hey, I just realized that Dexter's not here tonight. Dexter's usually a mainstay at these things. Edmund, hey Clay, just joining now. No problem, Edmund. You think Benning has another move up his sleeve since they aren't buying anyone out? I'd like to think so, but I have a feeling that they might stand pat, but we'll see. Oh, sorry, Dexter is here. I don't know what I was thinking. He's right there. Clay, those 2 kids from last week, the fat kid being one of them, fought again this week. The fat kid got destroyed and lost by an armbar. Wow, Dexter, that's dangerous. I hope you're not part of that. Not part of those fights, and that's really bad. Like I don't like to see anyone fighting, no matter what age. So I hope these guys can straighten out. Do you think, Dexter, are these kids in your grade, and do you think this is going to go on all year? That's crazy. Harmon, does Jet Wu make the lineup? Not next season. I think he's at least a year away. Alfred, what is going on with the Canucks? It sure sounds like Vancouver is selling their Canucks to Calgary. Yeah, I've said before, the Markstrom and Tanev contracts, I have no problem with them going to Calgary. I think that term's a little long. I think they could have tried harder with, and Domingue, that doesn't matter. They could have probably tried harder, had the communication channels open with Levo. But I look at more, not the guys we lose to Calgary, I look at more Toffoli and Stetcher's guys that I would love the Canucks to bring back. Troy, will there be a limited amount of fans in attendance next season? Yeah, I don't think you're starting with fans, and I think they're going to bring them back gradually. So that's going to be the tricky part for sure. Alfred, what are your thoughts on Benny doing nothing on both buyout opportunities? Would have liked to buy out at least one. Yeah, Alfred, I hear you, but 2 things you got to look at. It's not Benning's money; it's Aquilini's money. So it's quite a sign of failure when you have to buy someone out, and it's money basically. That's the whole point of buyout. It's money, dead money. So on a time where I don't care how rich you are, where economy's bad, pandemic, I'm not sure if Aquilini just wanted to have some dead money. And number 2, we've heard Benning talk about how much he appreciates Sutter's penalty killing and his leadership. So I'm not surprised. I would like to see them be explored as well, but certainly not surprised that they didn't happen. Phil, is it possible that Rafferty isn't being called up because of his disability? Read somewhere that he's legally blind on his right eye. Yeah, no, Phil, that's not an issue. He's made it this far, and I don't think that's an issue. Louis, Calgary has $1 million in cap space left, but only filled 21 to 23 roster spots. Which ex-Canuck will they sign next? Grabner, maybe even Hutton, since they only have 6 D signed. Thoughts? Yeah, Louis, I haven't really looked at Calgary's roster. I know that they had a lot of holes on the right side. That's probably why they had Josh Levo. So yeah, maybe they do go after an ex-Canuck or anyone actually to fill in their roster. Yeah, but quite frankly, I don't know who they're going after or where they're short now. But that's a really good question. Calgary's actually my least favorite team. You guys know that. Now I think I might have to tolerate them because of Markstrom and Levo and Tanev that are there. Patrick, Dexter, were they wearing masks and fighting 6 feet apart? We'll see what he says. Nick, I've heard a few rumors the Canucks want wearing a new alternate jersey for next season. What logo would you like to see if the Canucks release a new alternate jersey? You guys know this, I'm a big fan of the flying skate, especially in black. I thought that was sick, that 50th jersey. And I do like the stick and rink, the original stick and rink as well. Arsenal, why do you think Hoffman hasn't signed yet? Do you think it's more because of the Hoffman fiance story? Or do you think it's because teams are tight to the cap? In my opinion, he is a great shot, is very skilled. Yeah, Arsenal, you nailed it. It's a lot of money for a lot of drama. So if you're a team that could use the scoring like the Canucks, and you have the cap space, and you don't mind the drama, then you bring him in. But those are three big things. You need cap space. What were the three things I said? Cap space, drama, and I can't remember what. No, that was just 30 seconds ago. But really, you need to have the cap space, and you need to be willing to potentially put up with some drama. Although I like to give people second chances and everything. So I really think it's a cap space issue. Edmund, would you want Sammy Vatten on the team? I'm shocked he hasn't been signed yet. Yes, he's good. Right hand, right shot, D-man, little injury prone, but I'm shocked as well. But he's one of those decent players, but not top tier players that's getting squeezed out of the market right now. Dexter Patrick says, of course, they sanitize their hands after every punch. Well, that's not the best strategy. Gary, I swear Jim Benning doesn't keep strong communication with the UFA and RFA. Canucks could have signed Levo and Stetcher for both under $2.6 million. Yeah, that's a story we're hearing a little bit. Like Markstrom, I get it. Like that was a tough negotiation. But if you knew that you weren't going to give Markstrom a no trade or no movement, then you move on right away and you loop back to Levo and Stetcher and Toffoli way sooner than you did. I do think that has been an issue for sure. Justin that says the Calgary Canucks, indeed. Edmund says, word was Canucks offered the same amount to Levo, but he chose the Flames. I saw that as well. Maybe he sees a better opportunity there. Maybe he was discouraged by the Canucks' lack of communication. Dexter says, E. Lee. I'm not sure what that means. For Elias. Elias. Yeah, I don't say it like that, but that's probably the proper way. Rob, how much would Jim Benning get paid? And how much would Travis Green get paid? Travis Green, he'll probably make in the $200,000 to $300,000 range. I think that's the middle range of coaches. Maybe, that sounds high. No, maybe $200,000, $200,000 to $250,000. I should look that up, but I know they were talking about this on the radio recently. Benning, I actually have no clue how much Jim Benning would get paid, because they usually don't release contract of management. So that's a really good question. If anyone wants to spitball how much they think Benning and Green makes, put it in the comment section below. Dexter says, Elias. Justin, you met Elias Pettersson at the San Jose All-Star game? I remember that. Yeah, it was great. I met him and we talked about my music. I met him I took a picture. Some news from some local news picked it up as a news story. I don't know how, but yeah, he was pretty cool meeting him. I've met him a few times since. RP, anything about Nikita Trampkin? Not that I know of, and as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Trampkin. Andrew Clay, I think it's pronounced like Matthias. Elias. Yeah, like Matthias. That would make sense. Andrew thinks that it's pronounced Elias like Matthias. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't say it that way though, I know. Yershbad, line 1, Besser, Pedersen, Miller. Line 2, Pakosen, Horvat, Hoglander, D pair, Hugh Schmidt, Rathbone, Ulevi. That looks good. A few years from now, that looks really good. Dexter says silly goose. Yes, that's because I did not see him in here. Dexter, they aren't going to fight again, especially since the fact he got whooped. You're probably scared to fight again. Yeah, I wouldn't fight. Louis, Dexter's here. Just turn around and look behind you, Clay. Yeah, I can't believe I fell for that last week. Simon, the Flames have also signed former Canucks in the past, like Bertuzzi, Morrison, Lack, Raymond, and Vey. Yeah, so it's a common theme, a common trend. History has shown that they do it. Justin, by the way, I'm Justin Hart. Horwitz is my legal. Yes, Justin, I was aware of that. Why was I aware of that? But I knew that when I started to see Justin Hart not comment on my videos, but Justin Horwitz, yes, I knew that was you, Justin. Nice to see you from Texas. David, hey Clay, I think the team will take a step backwards this year whenever it starts. Next year, once PD and Hughes contracts gets re-upped. Yeah, I think they're definitely clearing cap space for sure. Jaden, hey Clay, great job keeping us updated on Canucks news. Thank you, Jaden, for that, and you're most welcome. DSL, did you hear that Trampkin is having a great year in the KHL, one of the top in the league in blocking shots? Do you think he may join the Canucks when Podkolzin joins? You know, he'd be a nice addition to a third pairing, but a lot of drama surrounding him in his stint here already. So I'm not so sure. Desmond, hello Clay. Hello Desmond. Dexter, speaking of second chances, what are your thoughts on the kid who was picked by Arizona who racially abused a black kid with disabilities? He was 14 at the time. Yeah, I just saw that story today, Dexter. I didn't read the whole thing, but it sounds bad. I do think, though, people deserve a second chance. And everyone's done stupid stuff when they're 14, 15 years old. So if he's truly sorry, and if he's willing to make amends and show that he's sorry, I think we have to give people the benefit of the doubt and give people second chances. If we walked around holding grudges and not giving people second chances, we'd just be an angry society. David, 21-22 offseason will be either betting job to finish or a new GM coming in. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. That's a good point, because next summer, after the 2021 season, it's going to be massive with respect to new contracts for Pettersson and Hughes. Dexter, Clay, how's fasting been? Dexter's been okay. Thank you for asking. I could probably be better, be more consistent. I've lost 3 or 4 pounds, so it's a start. But I probably could be more consistent with it. So I'm going to keep plugging away. Thank you for asking, Dexter. Phil, do you see the Canucks surprising everyone this year, making the postseason? Do they take a step back? The fan in me hopes that they can still make the postseason, and you can still take a step back by making the postseason, because remember, the Canucks won a round and then went to Game 7 of the second round. So they could make the playoffs and lose in the first round, and you could have both. You could say they made the playoffs, but say that they took a step back. I'm hoping not. I just have a feeling Pettersson, Hughes, Besser, Miller, Horvat, Gaudette, Demko, all with a 1 year better. I don't think that the slip is going to be as bad as some people are predicting, but this is my opinion. Simon, Clay has mentioned several times he's not high on Tramkin. Yes, Simon, thanks. And that's fine, DSL. I know you're a new reviewer here. That's awesome. But Simon, thank you for listening. You're right. Tramkin's just not my cup of tea. Hunter, I actually heard that Levo was given a very similar offer by the Canucks, but chose to head to Calgary. That's true. That's very true. Not sure why. Maybe more open, consistent opportunities, and the fact he has buds with Monahan and Gio. Yeah, all those things. And I do think that Levo, if you have a team that's very proactive and say they want you versus a team that you played with for a year and a half, but is basically saying, well, we'll come back to you when we figure out our other priorities. I think that could have been hurtful to Levo, and I wouldn't blame him if that had something to do with it. Brock, I heard the Coyotes prospect wiped food in a urinal, made the disabled black player eat the food. Yes, and that's true. That was part of the story. And then the victim had to go get a bunch of tests to make sure that he was okay, which is really sad. Nick, if the two teams played Game 7, who would win, the 1994 or the 2011 Canucks? Wow, that's a great question. Obviously, we're talking about different eras, because 94, it wasn't called as tightly, so you can get away with more. And the 94 team was a rough and tough team. But you had Bure and Linden leading the charge, and Ronnie and Courtnall, and then defense, Jeff Brown, Lume, versus 2011, who, Sedins, Kessler, Burrows. And then the 2011, you have Luongo too. Luongo, McLean. I think that's a huge advantage for 2011. And then the D on the Canucks was pretty darn good. Edler, Ehrhoff, Bieksa, Hamhuis. That's a great top 4. So I'm going to go with the 2011 team. Maybe it's a bit of recency bias. I know Bure was amazing to watch, but I think the 2011 team maybe had more depth up and down the lineup. Dexter, yeah, he had to take an STD test and test for other things. Yes, that's indeed true. Very sad. Arso, Char probably wants to resign in Boston. Would you like to see Char in a Canucks jersey? He'd be a great guy for the young guys to learn from. Yeah, but I think he's too slow. His best days are behind him, and how much is he going to sign for? So, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I hate Boston, because I actually don't hate Boston. I don't hate Chara. But to answer your question, I would not like to see Chara in a Canucks jersey. Garshbad, people think Canucks took a step back, but I think Canucks are going to do as good, if not better. No, that's awesome. That's a good attitude. We shall see. Louis, Travis Green is making $1 million per year. Thank you. Jim betting salary. Yeah, what was I thinking? When I said 2 to 250, I meant to say million, like 2 million to 2.5 million. And those are the upper of the coaches, not 200, 250 grand. It's 2 to 2.5 million. That makes a lot more sense. So that would make sense if Travis Green is making $1 million. I think he's in line for a bit of a raise, maybe 1.5, but who knows? Good question. Next, you should start weightlifting, Clay. So I don't know if that's a comment. And get ripped. Yeah, I'd love to be in better shape for sure. I really miss not playing roller hockey and softball, the roller hockey especially. But yeah, I know with this fasting, you're supposed to work on your cardio and you're supposed to do some weights, and I have a weight set at home, so maybe I will, and I can work on these. See, my arm looks massive doesn't my arm look big in the live stream? But it's not big, it's probably just fat. But I think it must be the angle or something. But thanks for making me feel good. Okay, Can't believe I just did that. Fangirl, how's your dog Mickey doing? He is great. Thank you for asking. Um, uh, Lots of joy, always fun, and always looking to eat. Arso, oh my God. OMG, Clay, you're massive. Yeah, very funny. You guys are funny, but thank you. Thanks for the ego boost for sure. DSL, do you think Trump or Biden wins U.S. election? Oh, this is tough. I think about this a lot. I think it could go either way. I didn't think Trump had a chance in 2017, and look what happened. Or 2016, whenever it was. Oh gosh, I don't know. Maybe Biden pulls this out. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I'll have some more thoughts on that maybe next week. Garshbad, Nucks versus Toronto in Stanley Cup Finals 2026. That would be a lot of fun for sure. Dexter, no need to do calf workouts if you ever hit the gym, Clay. Thank you. Yes, Reese isn't here to pump me up on my calves, Mr. Cows, but that's okay. But thank you. Yes, calves is really my only muscle in my body. Edmund, I still won't count out PD Hughes, Horvat, Miller, and I said on your YouTube channel, I think Vertanen has a major opportunity to show he can improve on his 18 goals and make the top 6. Yeah, if all those players improve, yeah, that's a good point, Edmund. I forgot to mention Vertanen. So if all those players improve, the Canucks could be good. Edmund and show he's a top 6 forward, be consistent. I agree. That's what we're searching for Jake. Were you, Edmund says, were you not surprised? Or I'll just say, were you surprised NDP won a majority government? No, I was not surprised. Rob, how are your kids doing in school with COVID still going on? Thanks, Rob. Sean, university, so he's fine. He's online. Jacob, only every day, but only limited hours. And Kayla, full days, and they're doing fine so far. Thank you. They're safe, and we keep our bubble. No, I was gonna say we keep our bubble quite small, but that's not true because I go to work, I go to mass, we go bowling, but we're pretty safe. But we know that doesn't mean we're impervious or whatever the word is. Is that even a word? Impervious? That doesn't sound right. But you know what I'm saying. They're doing okay. Thank you. Phil, how much better or worse are the other Canadian teams compared to the Canucks? Phil, I talked about this a couple of times. I think Montreal did a lot. They had the best offseason of the Canadian teams. But I think you could put Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, all in one bunch, and they could all finish within 5 to 10 points of each other. So I think that's pretty close. So I think the Canucks are right in there, but maybe compared to the other teams, they didn't have the best offseason. But you could say that they were in the best place before the offseason started. So maybe they came down to the pack a little bit, and maybe that's kind of why I think they're all kind of jumbled in the same pack. Fillmore, Gerald Diduck was good, especially when he got traded to Chicago. Diduck was good. Yes, I remember him. Liam, what do you think of Jimbo's overall moves this offseason? Just okay. I love the Schmidt deal. I absolutely love that deal. I'm fine with Braden Holtby. I think that's a good move. I was okay with Mark Montana leaving, as I said. Wasn't happy the way Stetcher and Toffoli left. So, maybe a C plus or C. It hasn't been an awesome offseason. Tiny bit of work, though, with some contracts. McEwen, Mott, Gaudette, and Vertanen. So, yeah, maybe a B minus then. That brings up into the B range. I think it's been okay. The signings have been fine. But I would have liked a bit more, maybe open communication at least. It seems like that would help build a case for Toffoli and Stetcher. Arsenal, I think short term we've gotten worse, but long term we'll be better. It'll give our young talent an opportunity to grow and crack the roster. Yeah, I can't wait to see Rafferty, Juolevi, Rathbone, Podkolzin, Hoglander on this team in 2 or 3 years. Arsenal, to go along with Liam Haynes, what would you grade Benning's season so far? His season or his off season? The season I gave him a B or B plus. Off season I give him, let's say, B minus. Arsenal says, OMG, Clay, you're massive. Yeah, thank you, but don't stop. Raj, I want to versus Calgary in the playoffs. That would be a lot of fun for sure. Dexter, right arm be popping, you take steroids. No, not at all. But truly, it's the angle of. Actually, it's funny when I look at some of my videos to my songs. Because of the way the camera is, maybe my right arm just is a decent size. I think it's just fat, but I'll stop showing it off now. But thank you. Louis, 94 greater than 11. Have you seen Momesso, Diduck, Emerson played? You get a minor penalty. Just look. Yeah, that's a good point, Louis. I remember that team very well. They're a very tough team, for sure. They're a tougher team than 2011, but I like 2011's overall depth a bit better. But yeah, it'd be a great series for sure. Gershbad, Arso, you're 100% correct. Nux Dexter, how the coach showers been. Gang, Clay can handle his own. Why, thank you, gang. Gangstar, that's awesome. I think I've only had one fight in my life and I won it. I was in grade like 6 or something. So I'm 1-0. I retired undefeated. Nick, I have a weird feeling like 2026 might be Canucks year. Don't know why, but that's what I've been thinking for a while. Okay, so I hope we're all patient. That's 6 years from now. I don't even know how to say this. It's like, I don't know, there's kissies, those duck lips or whatever. It's looking like Biden, but I still have doubts always. That what if in the back of my mind. Yeah, it'll be fascinating to watch. A lot more unpredictable than the BC election, that's for sure. Dexter, it's not a Clay stream without Reese coming in and boasting about Clay's calves and Clay saying, if you guys don't know, Reese is the best high school football player I've ever seen. Touche, Dexter, touche. Edmund, I honestly think Jake will surpass the 20 goal mark this time around. He may with more consistent time in the top 6. Hunter, what do you think Jake's ceiling could be for season goals? How many beers do I need to put in the fridge? 25 max. I'd be happy with 20 to 22. Dexter, amazing, feels so good. The cold showers, excellent. Edmund, he's still got lots to learn from JT Miller, and I hope Besser breaks 30 goals too. Yeah, Besser's becoming more of an all-around playmaker. Gangster, looking like Biden, seen those laptops. Looking like Biden, seen those laptops. Not sure what that means, Gangster, so you're gonna have to fill me in on what seen those laptops mean. Yeah, it's a word. Think you're looking for immune. Okay, immune. Sure, let's go with immune. Better than impervious. Fangirl, if no fans are allowed next season, do you think the players' families will be allowed in? No, I don't think so. But I also don't think they're going to be in bubbles for the entire season. But that's a good question. I don't know. Louis, can't believe someone gave you a thumbs down. Hey, it's comes with the territory, Louis. Not everyone appreciates greatness or good lookingness, if you know what I mean. Nuts. I hate them in the morning, though. It's so cold in the morning when I wake up. It makes it worse, but they wake me up. Yeah, well, that's the whole point of a cold shower. Dexter says, I like to call Biden Sleepy Joe. Cody, thoughts on Harlock? Yeah, I don't know a lot about him, admittedly, Cody, but I can't wait to see what he can do. It sounds like he can be an energy player, a bit of a pest. So maybe, I don't know if he's going to be a fixture on our third line or fourth line. I've vlogged about it. I love to see Tyler Mott on third line with Gaudette. And I guess it won't be Vertanen anymore because Vertanen's, so maybe a third line of Mott, Gaudette, and who'd you put on the right? Maybe you try Harlock there. I don't know, but I don't know a lot about him, but I'm excited to see what he can do for sure. Dexter, I take night showers, so I don't have to worry about that. You should make the switch. I love how you guys talk about hygiene on the channel. That's awesome. Gangstar, not even the transfusions can wake Joe. Fillmore, how good would Michael Pekka be if he wasn't traded for Mogilny? Yeah, I like Pekka. He's a good player. He's fast, tough. Nuts. So in the morning, you don't shower in the morning, or in the morning is hot water. Simon, I don't think the Canucks would have had the cap space to trade for Schmidt if they re-signed Toffoli. That's a great point, Simon. Obviously, there's a domino effect, trickle-down effect, snowball effect, whatever you want to call it. I'll just keep doing this for the next few minutes. And I also think that, you can't, one begets the other. You couldn't get Schmidt if you had Toffoli. So that's a good point. Or if you had to make some other moves too to make that work. Good point. I'll just call it duckface, duckface. So duckface, tell me what that is actually. It looks like :3, but I don't want to say that. So I'm going to call you double duckface. Gangster, heard about it, seen conflicting information. I don't like either government, to be honest. The main factor is I just find Trump obnoxious, but hey, I can't vote anyways as a Canadian. That's true. What's your least favorite NHL team? 1964. My least favorite NHL team is the Calgary Flames. I haven't liked them since '89. I didn't like them when they beat us in the playoffs in 2015. I didn't like them when they started that brawl, Hartley and Tortorella, in 2014 when he was here. So I may have to tolerate them now that Tanev and Markstrom are there, but Calgary is my least favorite team. And bonus points to anyone who can name my second favorite NHL team behind the Canucks and my third favorite NHL team. I've talked about them before here, especially during the bubble, during the postseason. Yes, Dexter, very good. Winnipeg Jets are my second favorite team. Can anyone name my third favorite team? I've talked about it before. Yeah, Edmonton's Jets. Yeah, so everyone's got the Jets. That's good. And Tampa, very good, Nick. So you are listening. You're paying attention. Exactly. Very good. Dexter, no, I only take night showers and I feel very clean and my hair is soft. That's good to know. Almost too much information. DSL, I think that Pettersson, Hughes, and Demko will step up their game even higher since it's a contract year for them. I agree, and we're going to find some money to sign them for sure. Rob, with all these players moving to other teams for more money, would you, if you could, move your family to another NHL city and do the same job for 25% more money? I think it depends on what stage of life I'm in. Rob, good question. If I was at the end of my career, no, I'd probably go more for security and somewhere where I'm settled and happy. But if I'm young in my career, yeah, I think I'd chase the money. 25% is a lot of money, a lot more. You're making 4 million. That's now 5 million. That's a big difference. So I don't blame these players at all for going for money and or term and whatever else is important to them. Liam, it seems as if Benning has done this offseason in terms of additions to the team. Would you agree? Yeah, Liam. I think it'd be nice to go after Anthony Declare or Sammy Vatanen, but I don't think we have the space right now. We'd have to make space, so I would not be surprised about that if that was the case. Good point, Liam. Dexter, those laptops behind him, Gangster. Yeah, very funny, Dexter. I got one laptop in this room and it's right in front of me. Gangster, I see Trump as confident rather than arrogant, but I respect your opinion. No problem. Talking about the other Patrick, can Vertanen be like Alex Tuck? And who's the better player? I think Tuck is more noticeable. Tuck's fast too, fast and big. But yeah, and even Benning has compared Vertanen to Tuck, saying we want that kind of impact. So I think Tuck's the better player right now, but I'd love for Vertanen to be close to him for sure. Phil, Besser is better in his first season. Seems like he took a step back, looks a step slower. Yeah, his release doesn't look as quick, but he's becoming a better all-around player, including on the defensive side. So, interesting. Dexter, Trump is a beauty. Love the guy. Maybe Sleepy Joy should take cold showers to wake his old butt up. Double duck face. I respect yours as well. Nothing gained from holding grudges. Arso, arm wrestle Clay. Arso, you would take me. You would pound me. You would smoke me. Dexter, Arsenal, if you're stronger than Sean, then go for it. Yeah, you guys, Dexter, as one of the OGs, I can't believe I just said OG on here. You guys might remember that Sean and I had an arm wrestle, and it was the first, and we actually tried. We tried our hardest, and it was a pretty good battle, but he beat me, and it was the first time in his life he's beat me. I was actually always stronger than him, but now as a 19-year-old young man, he's a lot stronger than I am for sure. Nick, Clay, can't wait to play against Calgary next season. Should be fun to watch. It would be hilarious. Winnipeg. By the way, do you guys want me to do another NHL live stream with Sean and Jacob? That was pretty fun, if you guys remember that a few months ago. So now we got Jets in Tampa, Jets, Montreal. Your cousin worked for them Jets. Yes, Edmund. My cousin did work for the Jets before he worked for the Kings, and now then he did a year in the KHL, and now looking for work. If Ian Clark doesn't come back to the Canucks, I would love Dusty to be goaltending coach for the Canucks, but we shall see. But yes, that is one of the reasons why I do like the Jets. You make great content, by the way. Thank you, Big 1964. I just don't say that middle word because it sounds like it's bad. It feels dirty when I say it. It sounds like a body part, but maybe that's wrong. But thank you, Big Blank 1964. You make great content. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Edmund, you said no Zoom interviews for the time being, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I said that, and then I snuck one in with my brother Jason because I knew work was going to be crazy, but it's actually going to slow down for me starting next week. So I have a couple irons in the fire. I always say that, but I think I'm going to resume the Zoom interviews in November, December, especially if we're still in an off season with not a lot to talk about. But Edmund, I really appreciate that I know you're a big fan of those Zoom interviews. Thank you. Yusuf, how good do you think Demko is going to be this season in the future? I think he's going to be awesome. I've said that I've heard it from someone in the Canucks organization that they have Luongo-type hopes for Thatcher Demko. So that's massive, obviously. I just think he needed an opportunity. He's got the mental game. He's got the physical game. He's got the right attitude, the work ethic. I think he can be. I truly think he can be a star in this league. Arsenal's laughing at Dexter. Nux, would you trade Marner for Besser? I would. Yeah, Marner's got a massive contract. Besser's going to be in line for another big contract, though, in 2 seasons. Would I trade Marner for Besser? Yeah, actually, I saw Dexter's not with that contract. I think if money was equal, which it isn't, that's unrealistic to say, then I would. I think Marner has got more upside skill side, but that contract is pretty bad. Hunter, who's your favorite underdog Canucks player, past and present? Non-star. Okay, so let's go with present first. Underdog player. So on the team right now, actually of the non-stars, I like Jake Virtanen the best, truly. And I've liked him. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that I met his parents a couple of years ago at a preseason game. I would love to see him do well. And immediately, I would love to see Ferland do well. He had underdog written all over it, and even more so with his injuries. Past underdog for the Canucks, I like Burrows, although he kind of rose to stardom. Yeah, maybe Burrows is the one that sticks out to me, if you can even call him an underdog. Yeah, let's go with those guys. Quinn Hughes is elite. Marner and PD together would be so good. Oh my, yeah, it would be. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Fillmore Besser just needs to shoot the puck more. Yeah, and get it off quicker. I agree. Arso and our young guys coming up. Yep. Facts. Yes, yes, yes. Live stream. Yes, another NHL 21. Yeah, we don't have NHL 21 yet. We gotta get on that. Louis, both Chatfield and Breezeball are still unsigned. Looks like Canucks are short on D's, even the minor league level. Yeah, but there's time. There's time, especially if there's no rush for the AHL to get going. Quinn Hughes is elite. Besser shot the puck much more when he was just him in his rookie season, but now he feels like he has to pass to PD instead of shoot. Yeah, you got to remember, our team's a lot better now than it was 2 years ago in at least the high end talent for sure. Dexter, we need another one. That was awesome. I remember Matt Murray carried. Yeah, I think Sean L shot me like 40-15, and I almost won. It went down to a shootout. Dexter says, "Big is a cartoon character, not a bad word." Okay, it just looks bad. So thank you for letting me know. What cartoon character is he? Like, what is he? Cody, any early predictions on a Stanley Cup final matchup for this season? Even though not every team is done with their moves yet. Yeah, I don't know how you bet against Vegas. Yeah, if I had to choose right now, I still think Tampa could come. Oh, Tampa's going to have a lot of changes, though. I think Boston maybe not as good. I think Philly's good. They did poorly in the bubble. Gosh, I still like Tampa's team, though. I'm going to say Tampa Vegas as opposed to Tampa and Dallas. Tampa versus Vegas or Tampa versus Colorado. Very early prediction. Probably way too early. Edmund, I'd rather see Demko be like Jonathan Quick because Quick has won 2 cups. Yeah, as opposed to Luongo. Good point. Patrick Starr, Trump reminds me of Double Duck Face. We don't have the cap for Marner. Yeah. Remember Double Duck Face? Tell me what I'm supposed to call you. I don't know what those are. Also, tell me who's teaching you, Clay. Touche and OG in the same stream. Yeah, that's true. It's definitely not my kids. They talk to me, but they don't use those kind of words. I don't know. Maybe I just have a bunch of these dope words in my vocabulary that I don't use because for fear of being too lit. Okay, that was horrible. Double dog face, especially with Hughes and Pedersen coming up. Yes, Edmund, underdog all time, got to be Burrows. Simon, I don't think Martin is worth 10 million. Yes, Jake Vertanen is still overrated. Sweaty G, not a big Vertanen fan. JF about to have a breakout season. Oh, overhated. I'm sorry. I take that back. Sweaty G says Jake Vertanen is so overhated, about to have a breakout season. That makes sense. That would be awesome if he did. Rob says Gino is an underdog. That's good. Edmund, underdog. Greg Adams. Yeah, that's a good one. Double duck face for sure. Vertanen gets too much flack from fans. Fillmore Wax, you're gonna watch the World Series. Yeah, not a big fan. Did they play today? No. LA's up 3-2, right? SAFA. So Saf. Don't Canucks want Erickson for penalty kill? What else can we do to clear cap space? Yeah, without Erickson, you can have Mott and Beagle as number 1, and then Sutter with either Pearson or Miller as your second. You could try resell there if you need to. Maybe Harlock kills. No, he doesn't kill penalties. So, yeah, that's a pretty expensive penalty killer, though. To clear cap space, you can't do buyouts anymore. You can really trade or bury guys or assign guys to the minors. Save $1 million on each of those. Dexter, he is a rabbit. Don't know what show. Sweaty G says Bugs Bunny, but thick. Okay, that's good to know. Dexter says, yeah. Phil, Clay, did you pre-order the PS5 for your kids? Sold out everywhere. No, you guys might remember, those of you that have been on here for a while, I recently replaced my PS4 when COVID started. It busted around March, April, but then we got a new one then, a PS4, knowing that the PS5 would come out this fall, but we decided that we weren't going to spend on PS5 just yet. Sweaty G, Luke Hughes or Brant Clark? I don't even know who Brant Clark is. I told you I'm not really good with these kind of prospect questions, so I'll have to look him up. But Dexter says Clark, points to Clark. Double duck face, oh, you call me Andrew. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that, Dexter. Just call him Double D's. No, I'm not calling him Double D's. Louis, 2021 champ, Colorado. That's a pretty good pick. Arsenal, no, they're not playing. 3-2 LA, thank you. Nick, who would you choose to be the next player in the Ring of Honor? If they don't retire Luongo's jersey, I think it could be Luongo, given his jersey's already been retired in Florida. Or I think it might be Alex Edler. He's still going to retire, of course, but I think Edler is a shoo-in for the Ring of Honor. Phil says, Clay the Millennial. Yeah, sure. Sweaty, dump Myers for cap space. Terrible signing. Easier said than done, Sweaty. But I hear what you're saying. Beagle's already pretty useless. Also pretty useless. Edwin, would Erickson get so much hate? Say he had the same number he had in Boston, like 30 goals. No, of course not. I think if we got 20 goals from Erickson, we'd be elated. DSL, good night. Have a blessed week. Thank you, DSL. You too. Yusef, thoughts on DiPietro? I think he's going to be good. He works hard. He makes up for his small stature. So maybe that's the plan after Holtby's done his 2 years. Simon, you could call it double duck face, :3:3. Not stick to Andrew. Thank you, though. Sweaty G, Berchi probably needs to go too. Yeah, I think his time's done. There's no relationship there. Sweaty, thoughts on the Leafs offseason moves? Kind of puzzling. Spezza, Simmons, Thornton, all older veteran guys who don't skate that fast. So maybe they had a leadership morale problem, character problem in their dressing room. I wouldn't have done it, quite honestly. Dexter, no Torrey Krug tonight. Who's in the chat? Who's Torrey Krug usually? Is it someone who loves Torrey Krug? I can't remember. Oh, I remember. There's Torrey Krug and there is Tony something. It was close. Simon, Seattle might take Myers in the expansion draft. Perhaps. It's a big contract. Fangirl, if Luongo goes to Ring of Honor, he would be the second number one up there, as McLean is already up there. That is indeed true. Ring of Honor, though, I think you can have multiple jerseys up there for sure. Dexter, Myers' neck is taller than the Space Needle in Seattle. Simon, yeah, they'd be a good matchup. Dexter says, Tony Kong was Torrey Krug. That's right. Tony Kong, Tony Tanti. All right, Tony Kong. Very good. You guys got great memories. Doesn't it feel like it's been longer than a week, though? It feels like it's been longer than a week, or maybe it's just me. Okay, King Kong. Perfect. I've caught up. It's 10:58. It's been an hour. This is, I think, a really good time to stop. Well, Dexter keeps saying anything that rhymes with Kong. Donkey Kong. Okay, last two questions. Safasaf, are there any news on New D this upcoming season? Is Ulevi from the playoffs jumping in? I think Ulevi and Rathbone will battle on the left, and Chatfield and Rafferty will battle on the right. One of those guys makes it. Jordy Ben is your other guy, and there's your top six with Edler, Schmidt, Hughes, and Myers. Clay, drink some water. Thanks, Arsenal. Usually I've never caught up, so it's good. Rob, have a good night. Thanks. Cheers, Clay. Have a good night. Let us ask more questions. No way, Arsenal. I'm done. I just told you I spoke for 3 hours, and thanks for taking care of me. Night, Clay. Till next time. Okay, this is a great place to stop. So as always, you can put stuff in the comment section. I read it before I log off, but I won't read them on the air anymore. It's 11 o'clock. Thank you for joining me once again. A big week for the Canucks, but I anticipate things to slow down a little bit. But I'll continue to do my vlog as more news comes out, maybe about the return to play for next season, maybe about Canucks news and other things like that. So thank you once again for joining me. I appreciate that you can be doing anything else, watching anyone else, whatever it may be. So thank you for being here. I do not take you for granted. Before you go, subscribe if you like to this channel, like this video if you like to. Always like to see that number go up just before I press the end stream button. And I hope you guys have a really good week. And I thank you for being here as always. And some really, really great comments. Thanks for letting me show off my vocabulary and my massive right forearm. So until next week, well, until tomorrow, my next vlog and next week's live stream, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go. Good night.